Project Lazarus. The experiment that worked too well. They said death was permanent. They were wrong. In 2011, inside a restricted desert region, a highly classified defense organization began an experiment known only as Project Lazarus. The goal was simple: create soldiers who could keep fighting even after death. But what they created was something no one could control. It began with a body. Corporal Isaac Monroe, 27 years old, killed in a roadside explosion during a covert operation overseas. His body was not buried. It was transported to Site 47, a secret biomedical research facility under a powerful shadow organization known as the Directorate. Official records called it neurological preservation research. In reality, it was the first attempt at biological reanimation. Dr. Elias Hart, a civilian scientist working under a private biotech contractor, led the program. His team believed that by stimulating neural clusters with a hybrid viral serum, they could restart limited motor function in dead tissue. It worked. On December 3, 2011, the first reanimation occurred. Monroe's body twitched, then it sat up. No breathing, no heartbeat, but full neural response. The experiment log described it as functional reactivation of motor systems. Then it added one classified line. Subject reacted with aggression. Security footage was sealed. One surviving technician later revealed what happened. Monroe began repeating one sentence: "I did not die," again and again. Then he attacked. Within 30 seconds, 3 researchers were dead. Within 2 minutes, Monroe's body was riddled with bullets. Yet it did not stop moving. Project Lazarus was declared terminated. Files destroyed. Research shut down, at least officially. Dr. Hart refused to stop. He claimed Monroe was not reacting out of rage. He believed Monroe was aware, conscious, trapped. In secret, Hart moved the remaining serum samples into an underground bunker beneath the site and continued his work. Months later, he discovered something terrifying. Subjects retained fragments of memory. A dog responded to its old name. A chimp reached for a familiar tool. This was not mindless animation. This was resurrection, but every subject showed increasing hostility. It was as if they understood that they were dead. Hart's final log entry, dated March 14, 2012, stated, "We brought them back, but they know what we did." After that, silence. Years later, a violent desert storm unearthed part of Site 47. A geological survey team found a sealed entrance. Inside, they discovered footprints, lab coats, and emergency power still flickering. They radioed for support. Their transmission cut out mid-report. When recovery teams arrived 48 hours later, the survey team had vanished. Only one damaged camera remained. Its final frame showed containment pods. One pod was open. Something was moving inside. The screen turned black. A year later, a lone figure was found wandering 12 miles away. Burned, dehydrated, and barely human. DNA confirmed it was Dr. Elias Hart. Medical scans revealed something impossible. No pulse, no brain activity, eyes still open. When questioned, he spoke slowly. His first words were, "You should not have come back." A new ultra-secret unit, known as the Defense Biohazard Division, seized all remains and evidence from Site 47. The Lazarus serum received a new classification, Organism X13. Soon after, strange incidents began to surface. Soldiers continuing to move after fatal injuries. Civilian morgues reporting unexplained neural activity. Unmarked convoys transporting refrigerated containers marked LZ-13. Investigators disappeared. Journalists investigating the story vanished. One reporter, Samantha Cho, managed to send one final encrypted file before she disappeared. A voice whispered, "They wanted soldiers who could survive death. Now death is surviving them." A leaked memorandum from early 2012 confirmed the truth. Containment breach detected. Subject LZ-1 missing. That meant Monroe had escaped. He was never destroyed. Soon after, unexplained attacks began across remote rural regions. Victims were found drained of blood. Their bodies showed necrosis without decay. Authorities blamed wildlife attacks. Shadow units arrived within hours. They did not collect evidence. They collected biological samples. Years passed in silence. Then a 19-minute video leaked from an unknown containment facility. Inside a dark room stood multiple observation tanks. Inside one tank was an emaciated human figure with pale skin and no visible eyes. A voice off-screen said, "Subject identifies as Isaac Monroe. Subject requests release." The figure slowly spoke. "You promised to send me home." Alarms activated. The recording cut out. Weeks later, the facility was destroyed in what was officially reported as a chemical explosion. No survivors were listed. Days later, highway security footage captured a scarred man walking alone near the desert border. He wore military dog tags. He slowly turned toward the camera. He smiled. Project Lazarus was erased from existence, but the serum did not die. It evolved. Some believe it is still being used in hidden regeneration programs. Others believe it escaped control years ago. There is one final belief. This is why some soldiers never return in coffins anymore. They do not need to. If death is not the end, then what happens to the part of us that remembers dying?